I'm struggling understanding how to wire a Broan NuTone Decorative Fan-Light exhaust with built-in humidity control, model Air 110 SLW with a 3 function. Installation guide here, https:/images.homedepostatic.com/catalog/pdf images/8585700B8E6A4E3C99387C3D5E8468665.pdf. Page 8. I would like to go with wiring option number 2. This is new construction and I currently have 12-2 wire running to switch box and want to use a 3-function single-pole rocker switch wall control per wiring option number 2. Question 1. The description to the switch states 3 independent, 120 volt, 15 amp rocker switches, 20 amp total, so can I use my 12-2 wiring for this switch? Question 2. From the rocker switch to the fan, how do I run the wiring based on the wiring diagram? I am thinking 12-3 with ground, but how do I get power to the humidity sensor? Let me know what questions you have upon review. Thank you.
Hi. My name is I will be assisting you today.
Okay, thank you. I also have pictures I can share, as needed. I'd rather just do online. Question 1. The description to the switch states 3 independent, 120 volt, 15 amp rocker switches, 20 amp total, so can I use my 12-2 wiring for this switch?
You can ignore the phone call offer. It is computer generated and not coming from me.
Okay, THX.
Yes, your 12/2 feed will be fine. Give me a moment while I pull up the wiring diagram.
Great. File attached, P577Z5S. File attached, G5Q5156.
Okay, so you are holding the wiring plug. But behind it is the cover to the wiring compartment that you need to open. That is where you will see the wiring connections that you need to make. Remove the block's hex head screw in the corner and the cover will come off.
I sent 2 pictures. The first one is of the wiring. File attached, 26E252G. I sent the picture again for the wiring compartment. Question 2. From the rocker switch to the fan, how do I run the wiring based on the wiring diagram? I am thinking 12-3 with ground, but how do I get power to the humidity sensor?
Thanks. Give me a few moments to sort that out and sketch the wiring for you.
Perfect. Thank you, Franklin.
The connections on the left are at your switch. The connections on the right are in the fan unit. Only one ground and one WHT conductor needs to travel from the switch to the fan. They don't make it very clear how where you make the connection to the brown wire. I don't see it in the wiring compartment picture. Perhaps it is making more sense at your end of things though.
For fan auto, blocks to brown, do I just run an individual 12-gauge wire from switch to brown? Customer attachment November 17, 2027 38 and 36 seconds p.m. File attached, 26B46PV. I am talking about the extra blocks wire to humidity control. Is that just an add-on 12-gauge wire I add from switch to humidity control, brown wire, then? That extra 12-gauge wire runs outside the wire sheathing of the 12/3 from switch to exhaust fan.
Sorry for the delay. If you need to add an extra conductor, you will have to run an entire 12 halves run from the switch up to the fan. The individual internal Romex conductor cannot be exposed outside of its jacket unless air is contained within a junction box.
12/3 for the light, blocks, and fan red, white, and ground, and then a second 12 halves run, utilizing only the blocks for the humidity.
So in your case, I might run two 12 halves feeds from the switch up to the fan. That would give me the right number of conductors for the job.
Sorry, was on the phone for work. So can you sketch a second drawing on how I would leverage the key 12 halves feeds from switch to fan? Would I just use one of the whites as the line to the fan, for example, and snip off the second ground? I am sorry for the delay. Are you still available to answer that last question about how to utilize the key 12 halves feeds?
That's correct. Snip off the second ground. Put a marker stripe on the outside of the jacket of one of the 12 halves wires so you can tell the difference. When you get the out jacket stripped, put a block stripe down one of the WHT wires. Now you know that it's not a neutral and longer.
Okay, thanks so much for all your help.
You're welcome. I'm glad that I could help you sort this out. Please feel free to come back with any future questions, and if that happens to be electrical in nature, you can start your inquiry with For Wire Guy Franklin. If I'm on the site, I'll be happy to assist you.
One more related question. I will also have a regular light switch in same box running to a vanity light. How do I connect the black feed power that switch as well as ground and white? Line into rocker switch plus regular light switch.
You would attach a short jumper of wire to your 120 feed with a wire nut. Attach your fan switch to the same connection.
Black jumper from both rocker and reg light switch to feed, so 3 wires with a wire nut. Or am I throwing a wrench into it, and does the power source need to go to vanity light first, then to both switches? Or am I throwing a wrench into it, and does the power source need to go to vanity light first, then to both switches, and then onto exhaust fan / light / humidity control? I am sorry, I didn't see your picture you attached for the jumper. So am I still good? I can run power feed to the switches and then out to the vanity light and exhaust fan from there.
You'll have to clarify a bit for me. Are the switches all in one location? Out to light and the to fan is the fan switch at the light? The single feed is fine for everything. But it must be split / jumped at the first point and brought as a feed to every other switch box.
Customer attachment November 17, 2020 9:37 and 45 seconds p.m.
One feed jump can got to another switch location and be the feed for several outlets and switches there.
Your drawing with a jumper between the 2 switches will still work. Can you clarify with another picture, please? Should I feed into the vanity light switch first and feed into the rocker switch?
You'll have to give me about 15 minutes. I'm away from my computer at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
So go back to my last sketch. You are not feeding into one or the other first, but rather both of the together. The block's 120V feed get connect to a wire nut. It will have a feed jumper to your vanity light switch and a jumper to feed your fan control switch.
Okay, yes. That is what I was confirming. I think that's it then.
Glad that I could help you sort this out. Please feel free to come back with any future questions, and if that happens to be electrical in nature, you can start your inquiry with For Wire Guy Franklin. If I'm on the site, I'll be happy to assist you.
Will do, thanks again.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
You too.
Smile.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.